Hey y'all, I am where I grew up and also the place where I lost my sense of self. Also, the place where I allowed for cycles of abuse to continue throughout my life. Also, the place where I had loads of fun. I had a great childhood in some aspects. We played cops and robbers, we played hide and seek in the dark out here in this park. This is where we all love to be every single day, especially in the summertime. We would play softball, kickball, but it was also a time where I was so susceptible to the bullying, to the ridiculing, to the point where I lost myself, to the point where I didn't know who I was. And y'all, just please, like, I'm really in a crisis right now. I was told by my apartment that we had got power at like 11:50, but then she just sent an email and said, JK, it's back out again. But at least we know that it's being worked on, because Lord knows I just want to like go to the grocery store and have food at home to eat. But anyway, I'm down here at my family's house, and I just felt really anxious and uncomfortable down here, mostly because I know that when I come down here, there's a possibility that my boundaries will be crossed. There's a possibility that I will feel powerless. And I know that that's something that I need to work on. That's something that I need to voice. But it's hard to when there are people who are not aware enough to know like where you're coming from. You know, like sometimes people think that you're hurting their feelings when you say that, hey, don't do this because I don't like it. It makes them feel like they're not good enough. But that has nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with those people. But what I mean is, I lost my sense of self. I allowed for my boundaries to be crossed so much in this very area. I remember one time my cousin rolled up a paper and she like put grass in it and tried to smoke it. It was so funny, like in this area right here. Like I remember that. But you know, there are a lot of great memories, there are a lot of awful memories. But one thing I will say is this is the root. And I feel like now that I understand life a lot better, I understand that there are going to be villains in your life that are going to take from you, that are going to steal your power because they can sense it within you. Villains always know when you're more strong than them. Villains always know when you really that bitch. But they would never let you know. But they only take from you because you don't have boundaries. You have not found your sense of self. You don't know your worth. You don't know who you are. And mainly it's because when you do know who you are, you wouldn't have put up with that. But also, when you don't know who you are, you give them that power. It's like a hunger that you're feeding to them because they don't have a sense of self-worth or a sense of self. And it's just like really beautiful back there, y'all. It's just beautiful. The sky's beautiful. But you know, it has nothing to do with you when it comes down to you not knowing who you are. It really starts at home. It's important to build that solid foundation of self-worth within your children so that when they are out here in the world, and you know, there are kids who bully, there are kids who are mean, your child will just know and be firm in who they are and won't let anyone come in between that. But you know, for me, and this is not to bash anybody at all, but for me, I didn't learn how to have a sense of self. I didn't know how to be myself, because every time I was myself, I would either get picked at for it, or I would get told just mean things, you know? And I stopped knowing how to be myself. I stopped trying to be who I knew I was because it wasn't good enough for the world. It wasn't good enough for my family. It wasn't good enough at school. So it was like everywhere I went, I never felt good enough. And I lost my sense of self because other people didn't have a sense of self. So I say that to say, when I lost my sense of self, I tried to be someone that I wasn't. Or actually, I just tried to be who I thought people would like, because I just wanted to be accepted. I just wanted to feel like I belonged somewhere, you know? I grew up without a dad, and I already felt like I didn't have a place there in my life. Like that was already something that was missing in my life. And then to be in an area where I still wasn't accepted was just like overkill. You know, it was just a lot for a child to like process, in a sense. And I'm not a victim here, but I used to be. I used to victimize myself. I used to not play the victim. I used to feed into those cycles of victimhood because I didn't know how to take my power back. But I remember sitting right here on these very bleachers the last day that I allowed for my abusive boyfriend to put his hands on me. I sat here. Whew, that's hot. I sat here. Let's try this again. Okay, this is better. Ooh, I sat here and I had a bloody lip, busted lip, a black eye, a knot on my head. And I was just sitting here thinking, how did I get here? And honestly, I never really found the answer until just now, or until recently. And that is because I allowed for so long for these cycles of abuse to take place because I didn't know or understand my power. I didn't know how to take it back. I didn't know that I needed to take it back. I didn't know that I had lost my power. I didn't know that my sense of self-worth was severely compromised. I had no idea because I didn't know that there was even a thing. I didn't know that self-worth was even a thing. Like, that wasn't even anything that was taught to me. And I know that that sounds insane, but when you grew up that way, how else are you supposed to think? You know, when you grew up in a home that didn't instill self-worth. Y'all, please look at this huge bird up there. I don't even know if y'all can see it, but it's huge. Whoa. But I grew up in a home that didn't teach me that. I grew up around people who didn't have a sense of self-worth. So how they did one thing is how they did everything. And this is something that I really like understand on a deeper level now, because how they loved themselves was how they loved each other and how they loved me. So they may have thought it was love. They may have thought that, oh, well, bullying her is just me showing that I love her. But in the end, it was hurting me. But I was ridiculed for being too sensitive, not being able to take a joke. But y'all are diminishing like who I am. Like, y'all are belittling me, telling me, oh, well, you're fat, you're ugly, you know, whatever. Like, all the things. And you expect for me to just laugh and take a joke. Like, there were times like they would make up songs about me, about my weight. Like, it's, and to me, it just feels like, or it seems, it as a child, like, how do you take something like that when you go home, there's no one there to like console you, or there's no one there to uplift you and tell you how beautiful you are and to tell you that there's nothing wrong with your weight, or if there was something wrong with my weight, to help me try to shed the weight, to help me learn how to eat, to be healthy and strong instead of eating just to eat my feelings, you know? Y'all, this is just a very vulnerable video for me right now. just so you know. Like, this is really something that has been deep within me for a very long time. And when I sat here on these bleachers, that was the start of everything. That was the beginning of my healing. I'm literally at the root of my healing right now. When I sat here with my face all busted up, that was before I told anybody what was going on with me. I had endured 4.5, going on 5 years of abuse because I thought that's what I deserved, because I thought that that's just what life was, because that's all I had ever experienced in my life was abuse, just constant cycles of abuse, whether it came from family members, whether it came from bullies at school, whether it came from friends, whether it came from boyfriends. Cycles of abuse, and I thought that's what I deserved. But I sat here and I said, I don't deserve this. And that was the day that I took my power back. But so much of me had been lost that it took so long for me to find who I was again. And just here recently, I feel like I'm like finally settled back into me. Like, I feel like I've really broken the cycles of this abuse. I've broken the cycles of letting people cross my boundaries. I stand up for myself now. I tell people, no, you're not going to do that to me because I don't like it. Whether you think that it was mean or not, I personally don't like it. So you're not going to do that to me, because that's not what I feel like is love. It doesn't feel like love to me, you know? And when you express your boundaries and you express your truth to people, if they can't handle it, if they can't understand it, if they can't simply apologize and take accountability for it, those are not your fucking people, and you better run, because they're showing you right now that they are not the people for you. They're showing you right now that this is who they are and this is how they're going to treat you if you decide to continue in friendship or relationship with them. So pay attention to how people respond when you set boundaries. Pay attention to how people respond when you stand up for yourself, when you finally take your power back, when you don't allow them to take your power, you know, because people will come into your life, like I said, and be the villain, because that's their role. But it's up to you to not allow for that villain to have control over you or power over you, because you know who you are. For so long, I got ridiculed. Like, I couldn't be smart. I couldn't be good at anything. I couldn't have anything, because I constantly just got ridiculed for it. And I am not a victim. I'm not a victim, okay? So don't get on here, you know, feeling sorry for me, because that's not why we're here. I'm here telling you my story because I have taken my power back fully. I have taken every ounce of me back from this place, from here, where I remember running and people were laughing at me because I was running, and then I stood up for myself and I got laughed at for standing up for myself, trying to take my power back. And then that's when I knew, like, dang, even if I stand up for myself, even if I tell them whatever, they're still not going to understand. They're still going to find something to pick at me about, to belittle me about. And I know, like, if you've never experienced bullying, you don't know, like, the extent that it takes on your soul, like on your being, on your sense of self, especially when everyone around you has something bad to say about you, you know? And like, I don't know. I just feel like so liberated right now, and even just telling you guys about how I feel right now is just very liberating. It's very freeing, and I hope that this video receives you well. I hope that you guys find something that you can resonate with in this video, and I hope that you take your power back from these people who have tried to belittle you and tell you that you're not good enough, and tell you that you are whatever, like whatever they're telling you telling you that you don't deserve this or you don't deserve that. It took me a while to settle into making YouTube a thing for me because I didn't think I deserved it. Because for so long, I've been told that I don't deserve anything. Or I've been shown that, at least. And I'm just like so over it. And my power has been brought back to me in so many different ways. And I'm just so thankful for it because for so long I struggled. But we ain't struggling no more, okay? And look, I just wanted to show you this beautiful pasture. Like, there's usually cattle, I don't know, cows out there. But I guess they've been herded up and taken somewhere. But there was also a trail like right down through that way where we would walk to the little cricket and get snacks and stuff. Looks like somebody is coming out here. I don't know who that is. But I just wanted to come on here and share that with you because this is the place where I lost my sense of self, but it's also the place where I gained more of who I was. This is also the place where I took my power back, where I decided to take my power back, where I decided to make a change, where I decided that I deserved more. I decided that I could be who I am with no apologies. I decided that I was no longer going to let these cycles of abuse continue because, for what? They don't have to. I can choose something different. I can have something different. I don't have to continue with people being mean or hitting me, you know, getting into fights with me for no reason. I don't have to do that anymore. So, oh, honey, it's something rattling down in there. And I don't like the way that sounds. That's the bad part about living in the country, y'all. You just never know what's gonna pop out of these bushes. Bobcats, coyotes. I don't even fucking know what's gonna pop out. But anyway, I think that's where we're going to end the video. I pray that you receive this message well, and I pray that there was something in here that you can resonate with that will help you along your journey of taking your power back. And if you haven't already, go ahead, leave me a comment if you can resonate, or if this video just touched you in some kind of way. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. And also subscribe if you haven't. We have reached a little over 100 subscribers, maybe like 102, but I'm grateful for that because 100 can turn into 1,000, 1,000 can turn into 100,000, and so on. So let's get it, because this is only the beginning. This is the root. This is the root of it all, and I'm grateful for it. So I pray that you all have the best day ever, or night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.